Are we heading towards global warming? This is something that is a hot topic or a cold topic over the past number of years, and people are worried about trying to save the planet, etc., etc. The question is, what does Torah say? What is the Eibish's plans regarding the planet? After all, he created it, and he decides what goes on. So if you look in Torah, we see that the Eibishter has a few plans of his own. The Gemara says in Masechta Nedarim Daf Chaf, Daf Ches, that when Mashiach will come, L'asalav in the future, which usually is interpreted to referring to the second period of Mashiach's coming after Tchias HaMesim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moitzi Chama Min HaTeika, the Eibishter will take out the sun from its covering, and Tzadikim Misrapim, he brings there a few psukim, how Tzadikim will become healed, and they'll greatly enjoy the warmth of the heat of the sun. And the Rishonim, the wicked, they will be burnt up. They will be punished through the same heat, the same warmth that will give salvation and healing and a good feeling. That the tzaddikim will work the opposite for the wicked. Similarly, we find psukim that speak about the radiance of the sun in the future. That the light of the moon will be like the light of the sun, and the light of the sun will be sevenfold as much, which according to some interpretations means will be 343 times stronger than it is today. And this is quite a powerful change in nature, and there's a few approaches regarding this thing. Many explanations focus on a deeper meaning over here, which they explain that the sun refers to great revelation of godliness, and the cover of the sun refers to the concealment of nature, the godly levels which are limited and concealed, the unlimited revelation of godliness. And when this godliness is revealed, so those people that spent their life pursuing godliness, they will enjoy it. It will be a great pleasure for them. Those people that, on the other hand, that didn't spend their life pursuing godliness, they weren't doing mitzvahs, they weren't doing, they weren't interested in all of that. So when godliness will be revealed, it will be like a sudden great light that blinds a person. He's not ready for it. It's too much for him. It's too much spiritual light. It will be something that won't be able to handle. That's one general way of explaining the meaning of this Maimer Chazal. And but on the other hand, there are definitely approaches that do explain it in some literal way as well, exactly how the world will function. Obviously, the heat of the sun has very good qualities, and it has, if it's too powerful, it has negative qualities. Exactly how our bodies will adapt to the heat of the sun is a good question. I'm not sure, but one interesting thing that it says, one of the Ramami Panu, he writes that we know that it says that when Mashiach will come, so the bread will grow from the ground, the wheat kernels will grow freshly baked into bread. You won't have to grind them and turn them into bread. They'll grow ready-made. So he actually explains that it's due to the intensity of the rays of the sun, they will, instead of having a kernel with raw flour inside, it will bake out. Not only will the kernels will be very big, but they'll become baked, they'll become completely edible due to the intensity of the rays of the sun. That's one positive development physically that we could that some commentaries point out. But either way, the point is that we are definitely heading for a spiritual global warming. We will become, the sun will shine brightly, the world will be full of warmth. And those that are nervous about disappearing glaciers, so there's a Sikh of the Frierdiker Rebbe, Shmini Atzeres Tavshin Gimel, he brings the whole story of a certain individual that was the chassid of the Alter Rebbe, and his teacher, he went over to his teacher who was never exposed to the teachings of Chassidus, and he explained to him about Chassidus, whatever. And his teacher was very impressed, and he wanted to become a Chassid. And he came to the Alter Rebbe, and the Alter Rebbe spent time with him. The Alter Rebbe taught him, answered him questions in Nigla, and he was very happy with Alter Rebbe's teachings. Then he asked Alter Rebbe if he could accept him as a Chassid. Alter Rebbe declined. Alter Rebbe said, Alter Rebbe used the expression, the Yam HaKerach Mashiach Anvarmen, the sea of ice, only Mashiach will warm up, which basically meant that this person was for so many years indoctrinated with a very cold and, fearful approach to Yiddishkeit, so he wasn't at this point ready. After so many years, he was already an older person, he wasn't yet ready to completely change his complete transformation and adapt to the warmth and joy of Chassidus. But spiritually speaking, the sea of ice, which is the kaltkeit, the coldness and the indifference, that will definitely be melted and become warm with the coming of Mashiach. And actually, what's interesting is that the number the simple meaning of the Gemara and the way a number of Rishonim interpret it is that the different blemishes that people have, or even physical losses of limbs and things like that people have, will be healed through the great intensity of the sun, which Mefarshim explains obviously means that even if you interpret the light of the sun to mean something physical, but there will be supernatural qualities to it. And the Gemara said that even today, it's brought down in a number of places, even today we see the sun has healing qualities, because it says that when a person in the morning, people that are sick, when the sun starts shining, they feel better. Idli yom idli ktsira. There's a certain, calmness or a good feeling that they have when the sun shines. So we see even now, physically, the sun has great positive and healing powers, and Mashiach will be completely exposed. But again, there will be, there's different exactly how to understand it. I guess we'll figure out when Mashiach will come. The main thing is it should happen right now and should all be warm and full of chayas and enthusiasm at the coming of Mashiach.